The ocean, the greatest creation on earth. Nothing has garnered such imagination, respect, and wonder as this massive body of water covering 75% of our planet. Home to some of the most amazing forms of life ever discovered, and even what hasn't been discovered. We know less about the ocean than we do about space. There are so many mysteries that we have yet to discover about this awe-inspiring ecosystem. Unfortunately, the ocean is being destroyed by pollution. The wonders that it brings us will soon vanish. There's way too much pollution in the ocean. So the big question is, what is all this pollution and where does it all come from? The sad truth is that most, if not all, pollution going into the ocean comes from land and directly from human hands. According to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, 1.4 billion pounds of trash per year enters the ocean. Much of it ends up on beaches, washed in with waves and tides. Some sinks to the ocean, or the bottom of the ocean, and infects coral reefs. Some is eaten by marine animals mistaking it for food. Other forms of pollution impacting health come from a single known source like an oil spill, or from many accumulated sources like fertilizer from yards. One of the biggest processes that brings pollution to the ocean is called non-point source pollution. Most non-point source pollution occurs because of runoff. When precipitation moves across and through the ground, the water absorbs and assimilates any pollution it comes into contact with. For example, after a rainstorm, water will flow across a parking lot, picking up oil from a parking lot. Non-point source pollution includes many small sources like septic tanks, cars, trucks, and boats, plus larger sources such as farms, livestock ranches, and timber harvest areas. Pollution that comes from a single source like an oil spill or chemical spill is known as point source pollution. They have larger impacts, but they occur less frequently. The U.S. Environmental Protection Agency defines point source pollution as, quote, any single identifiable source of pollution from which pollutants are discharged, such as a pipe, ditch, ship, or factory smokestack, end quote. Now, moving into how it all affects wildlife and endangered species. Fauna and Flora International is a proven conservation innovator that continues to make a lasting impact on global biodiversity. They conducted research and studies on pollution in the ocean, and based on said research, they deduced that plastics are an extremely dangerous and abundant source of pollution. Plastics were first introduced as a versatile, durable, and cost-effective material. They were produced from crude oil, making them polymers. Plastics can be molded into all shapes and sizes and can be used for any job. Basically, they're cheap, which means there's a lot of plastic, and they're durable, so if they become pollution, they stay pollution. One of the most notorious pieces of material that is disposed of into the ocean is what is called macroplastic, not micro, macroplastic. Basically what they are tiny pellets of thermoplastic about 5 millimeters thick. Think of beads of silicone in a silicone packet. That's basically what we're talking about, but on a scale of thousands. So the big problem with macroplastics is once they reach the sea, microorganisms colonize the surface of the plastic, which alter the properties of it, causing it to sink and become embedded in the seabed, shoreline, and plant matter. Cleanup operations cost a lot of labor, time, and money. The consumption of these pellets destroys wildlife like crazy. They resemble fish eggs and are mistakenly eaten by seabirds, filter feeders, and a wide array of fish. The plastic that gets buried in the seabed proceeds to poison acres of coral and seabed life and wipes it out. So in conclusion, pollution is a major problem in today's ocean. There's far too much. There has to be some end in sight. Thank you very much.